Hey, it's the Grind City Media Black History Month HBCU check-in. Obviously, this is a special time, a special month of tributes and acknowledgement and empowerment and engagement and education. I'm Michael Wallace, Grind City Media Senior Editor. Obviously, you know her, Megan Triplett, our Grind City Media host. And Megan, let you do the honors right here to introduce our guest, because this is big time. This is family with you guys, and y'all go back.
Yes, we go way back. We're not going to say how far back we go, but this is a dear friend of mine, Robert Covington, Portland Trailblazers basketball player and a very good friend of mine, but more importantly, Tennessee State University graduate, alma mater, superstar. I'm only going to be nice to you for a couple of minutes here, but then we're going to go back to our friendship. But TSU, TSU star. I mean, Rob, you were doing some literally amazing things in the community, and we wanted to spotlight the work that you're doing at TSU. It came out just a few months ago that you are funding the construction of a new facility for the men's and women's basketball program. Is where they're going to practice. It's very big just for HBCUs in general, because there's no HBCU that has a practice facility like this. We've seen pictures. Let me just first start by saying why it was so important for you to give back to TSU in this way.
It's the perfect time. I've always said I want to do something big for my university, and it gives them opportunity to have something that I didn't have access to when I was in college. When I wanted to get extra shots up in the gym, sometimes the gym's closed, or we had to prop a door open just to get in after hours, and it's some days it's full security come in, and they'll be like, hey, you can't be in here. But for kids to have access to go in and get work, just like all these other schools, it was a proper time, with everything that's going on. HBCUs have become a prolific, part of everything that was going on. The recognition that they was getting, from myself, Chris Paul, and, everyone else that had been speaking advocacy about historically Black colleges. It's just the perfect timing, and I paved the way. Like I said, for my alma mater, for me to do that. And it also is a good thing for me because, like I said, it gives me, when I want to get a workout in, somewhere to go and work out. And like I said, to orchestrate, pro runs and, stuff within the community, just to, have access to, when I do want to have something, because like I said, it's hard to bounce around from gym to gym. In my trainers, we don't have a set in stone location that we go to consistently. We just kind of bouncing around through a couple locations. But for us, me, and like I said, I live not too far from there. So, that's a easy commute. I got so many ties there that, like I said, it was time. It was time for it to, for me to do my part. And like I said, I wanted to do something big, and, I seen what football team had got. So I was like, it's only fair that the basketball get the same thing.
Robert, it's beautiful to hear you say that. And again, it's the HBCU Black History Month check-in from Grind City Media. We're joined again by Robert Covington, NBA 8-year veteran Robert Covington, one of the most efficient two-way players that we have in this league. But more importantly, he's joining us because he's a TSU alum and a philanthropist when it comes to HBCU and Black culture. Rob, two things you mentioned there that stood out to me, and I want you to sort of expound on that a little bit more. You said first and foremost, it was just the time is right. And I'm just curious, after everything that's happened from a social awareness, social justice impact with African Americans in our community, what makes this the right time, number one? And number two, you also mentioned Chris Paul and other guys around the league in terms of HBCU awareness. You, Chris Paul, and Steph Curry basically relaunched Howard's golf program. So between the timing being right, based on everything we're going through, and also three guys that are household names making a commitment to this kind of cause, how special is that right now?
It's very special. Like I said, with everything that's going on in the world, during the bubble, our biggest thing was social injustice, bringing about awareness, and, a lot of these kids, a lot of kids don't even know about a lot of historically Black colleges that are out there. I can even attest to this myself. When I first heard of Tennessee State, I never knew what city it was in. Never knew nothing about it. But when I went and I did my research, and then I actually went to go to the school, I felt home. Like it was instant. Like I knew before the day was even over with that that's where I was going to be at. And that was just the kind of commitment and kind of, interaction I had because like I said, it felt like home. And, I had the opportunity to go there and do what I've done, throughout my career is go and prove myself. And, nothing was ever given to me. My coach gave me a challenge before I even stepped foot on campus. And so that's what I've always endured. And like I said, for us, bringing about the awareness that we've done, the bubble was a great thing for, we got a lot done. We brought a lot of awareness to the world. And, for kids now, they're starting to use that as, an option for them to, possibly, attend an HBCU. And there's so many prolific athletes in, high school around the world that have been mentioning it. So a lot of things that they say is, just the resources and, all these big high end schools and the PWIs, they have those resources. They have the funding. They have people that are giving back, and it's not as much being given back into the Black community, with HBCU. So, for me, my roots go very deep there. My brother go there. I know all the coaches that are there. I actually helped vouch for one. So the coach that recruited me was there. He became the head coach after he left for a couple of years. So my roots is tied deeply there. I still go back. I say throughout the summer, I go up there a few times out every month. I train there. I enjoyed my face being seen because it gives kids the motivation to understand that, I walked these same halls. I was in their same shoes, and anything's possible because, without that being, in that moment, I'm giving them the light and, the belief within themselves that, if you put your mind to it, anything's possible, and I don't walk around like, I'm bigger than anybody. I walk around there and I speak to people. If somebody wants to take a picture or, just the engagement, like I give them that because like I said, not a lot of people have access to that. Not a lot of people have access to see and talk to an actual NBA player. And, especially being such a small city, that's something that's very, open to my heart. And like I said, I want to change as many lives as I can. And, I'll talk to anybody, just to have a conversation. And, that's what like I said, I figured out what my purpose is. And my purpose is to give back and, uplift people, give them that motivation. And like I said, after going through everything I went through within the past couple of years, I figured that out and I understood what it is and what it is that drives me. And so moving forward, through life, like I said, it's the right time, not just for, in the world, but for me personally, and, like you said about, Chris Paul and, Steph Curry bringing about, things that they've doing for other HBCUs. Like I said, it's the first of many. It's a lot of things that we're capable of doing. And like you said, these initiatives are our very first. And like you said, like we just got to keep building. Like we got to keep bringing awareness, keep allowing kids to understand that, there's a lot that you can learn from HBCU. The experience that I received from there, I'll never get from anywhere else. Like whatsoever. Like I got to witness and talk to people that actually walk with Dr. Martin Luther King, that sat and had conversations with Malcolm X and all these prolific Black leaders throughout our life. And, I got to listen to stories that you won't find anywhere else, people that actually live that. So for me, it's like, I never got that experience. I wouldn't have got that experience. And like that stuff stuck with me more than what like out of anything, because I really got to feel the passion and, the enthusiasm with their voice and how they were telling the story to understand like within that moment, because a book, you can't get that, but you actually hearing like life experiences, man, that in itself gives you chills. It feels like you've been there. And, I take that stuff dearly to my heart. I was just having a conversation with my best friend the other day, and we was just talking about this. One of my professors, Coach Bass, was asking about me. So I got to reach into contact with him. And there's so many other professors that, had major influences on those things for me. So, it just was an amazing feeling to, actually have that experience, because like I said, I felt like I was there as well. And, to feel the energy and passion through their voice and their story, you don't get that nowhere else. And that's what it's very passionate.
Man, it's wonderful because I sense your passion. Like I'm getting goosebumps as you talk. I mean, I'm an HBCU grad too. I went to Grambling. Listen,
Wrong choice.
y'all got basketball covered, but don't even talk about football and band. We got that. You also walk the campus.
You said band?
Yeah, band. I said band. I didn't stutter. Band. HBCU band. We got y'all covered. Band and football. You also walk the campus with Megan Triplett. So in terms of like prolific icons when it comes to things that that school represent, you got to give us your best Megan Triplett experience and story from the campus.
Ooh, I feel like I know I'm starting to sweat.
I think the best was we was at a game and Megan, she's working like a lot of our games, and Megan had a moment where she tripped. She had a moment where she tripped so bad during the game, and the whole crowd, you heard him say, "Ooh." You remember that, don't you?
I feel like I did this a lot. Yes. I had a lot of embarrassing.
No, this specific moment, we was at home, and it was a pretty fairly packed game, and where she was at is like her foot got caught in the wire, like kind of how Shaq did a little bit. She didn't have that drastic of a fall.
Oh my God! No, you did not compare me and Shaq. No, you did not just compare me and Shaq.
No, she didn't have that drastic of a fall, but she definitely like, you ever seen Bambi legs? She had one of those, and we noticed it during the game and like partially looked like, ooh. And we had to literally like focus on the game, but you literally heard it, like you heard the whole crowd say, "Ooh, are you okay?"
But Rob did not come over to make sure I was good.
I was on the court at the time. I was on the court.
It's a very special moment, Rob. Everything that you just said about TSU and like all the experiences that you talked about, I can vouch literally for that. I think I went back into the last time I saw you, besides a basketball game, besides Grizzlies, a game where you played. It was homecoming. It was literally homecoming where we got a chance to like hang out again. And Rob, he goes to the pep rally. He is going to be working out. We share the same friends. They're always working out in the summertime. And I know Nashville is a place to your heart, not just for you, but your family. Your family has also embraced TSU, and it has meant a lot. Your mom spoke at your press release when they unveiled the new practice facility, and you kind of got to showcase it all. And you saw that love that the city and the school, loves you and appreciates you. And something that you said, that it won't be the last. It's not going to be the last thing that you do. And you hope that it starts a path for others and people put HBCUs on the map. If there's anyone out there who's considering an historically Black college and university, what's the advice that you would give and why it's important to go to one?
Man, the main thing I can say is you're not gonna find people that are more passionate, that's gonna, really care about you more as an individual. Because like you said, being, a Black kid that's going to a historically Black college, you don't get that same love and same, care. Because like you said, my family, is very tight knit, and my mother passed me along to going to the university. That was a hard step because I'm the first of 3 that went away for school, and me and my family are so close. For me not to be in their presence, like you said, my mother trusted my coach. My mother had trusted the whole athletic side, academics, everyone to help me mold me as a man. And to this day, all of those same people, I consider them my second mothers, because, that's the type of environment that, was presented to me. And to this day, my mother has a relationship with everyone there. Like, as my mother went and, passed me to going off to college, my mother was very engaged. My dad was very engaged. My brothers are very engaged. So, my mother knew my professors. My mother knew my academic advisors. My mother knew my coaches. Like, that's how involved my family is. And, for our roots, just for me to be embedded, it's the same for them, because like you said, they got to witness everything that I shared and everything that I experienced through their own experience, because they had relationships with them same individuals. And, that's what made it more special, because you're not going to find that anywhere else. Like, the love and the care that you're going to receive, it's diamond. It's not even close. It's not even close. And I can attest to that. You know, I literally, to this day, I still can call everyone and still have a conversation. It don't even have to be about anything as far as like TSU. It's just, hey, how are you doing? Like, what's going on? Like, we have like, I can still do that to this day. And that's the type of relationship that I received. And that's the type of relationship that they care about with all of their players. They've never not once sat up here and, you know, turned their back. They're going to fight and they're going to help you, you know, become the best version, because it's about making everyone the best, bringing out the best version of themselves. And like I said, you're going to find somebody that's going to really be passionate, really just going, that's not just going to brush you off. Like, they really do care about everyone that they, you know, they touch, you know. So my experiences there, you know, I could attest to, it's so powerful that, you know, it made me who I am. It made me who I am to the fullest. And like, I wouldn't change that moment, that experience to save my life. Everyone always asks me, man, what if you'd have went to a bigger school? Like, I wouldn't have, because at the end of the day, what made me as an individual is my time and experience there. And I wouldn't change anything that my lifelong friends, you know, my brothers, the guys that I go to bat for to this day, I still, to this day, we built our relationships 12 years ago. Me and my best friend was roommates, you know, and coming in our freshman year. And that's been my road dog ever since, you know, and that's family. That's not just one of my boys, that's my family. Like, and it's a few people like that I hold dear to my heart. You know, them relationships that, yeah, Meg's one of them. Meg's one of them. But it's a
You
few
didn't sound
people.
happy saying that. Meg's one of them. I know. She kind of just, she's
I knew
relentless, right?
I knew it was coming. That's why I was like, that's just how I know Meg. And even my brother Thomas just be like, man, go sit down somewhere. But that's the type of bond and everyone that we have. Like, everyone is so close and everyone has, I mean, that experience alone has just been life-changing. And like you said, the relationships that I built, like they're long lasting, like forever. And, you know, like I said, I wouldn't change anything to save my life. You know, that the experience that I had, you know, the trials, tribulations, all that is part of my journey. And that's what made it that much more special. And, you know, like I said, it makes my story even more, you know, uplifting, because, you know, all the things that I had to challenge as an individual, and being a black man in this world, period. Like, you know, I've had obstacles against me, and that was one of them. You know, coming out of the HBCU, people that think that, you know, I would be able to do what I'm doing today. And, you know, look at me now. I use that as motivation. I use that as a chip on my shoulder. And like I said, I've always had that, you know, and I'll never lose that, because at the end of the day, you know, they're waiting on that. They're waiting on this shit up here and be like, well, we knew nah, I'm not gonna give you that. Like, I'm gonna work. I've worked my butt off to get here, and like, I'm never gonna stop working, because I know what it feels like to not have nothing. Like, and having your back against the wall, like, only way you can move, the only way you can go is forward. You know, you can't go nowhere else. So, you know, that's the mindset that I have, and that's what allows me to, you know, keep pushing. And like you said, having a strong core with my family, my friends, you know, my circle is so tight. It ain't much that anybody can say to me that can sit up here and bring me down, that, you know, will change anything, how I feel, or what's going on in my life. Because like I said, my circle is so close, and you can't break what's in this circle, man. And that's what I've allowed, you know, through life. That's what I've learned. And, you know, I hold all the relationships, you know, dear to my heart. And like I said, I go to bat for all of them.
Absolutely.
I will go to bat for all of them. And that's what allowed me to be really special with them.
Man, listen, Robert Covington, I mean, obviously you're special to us too. You're definitely unique in this league. Your story, your inspiration, your dedication, your passion, and your giving back is something that we all can learn from. And we want to thank you on behalf of Grind City Media as we celebrate Black History Month and honor and empower HBCUs. We've adopted you as sort of our ambassador, man. So you got to keep coming back every year, no matter where you go.
All Meg gotta do is just call me and be like, "Hey, we want you to come on the show." Like, she know it's nothing to me. So,
all right, I'll call you tomorrow.
You can't call me tomorrow. Tomorrow we got a game.
There you go. But thanks a lot for Megan Triplett, Robert Covington, I'm Michael Wallace. Keep it locked on all of our Black History Month and HBCU empowerment and engagement. There's the panel discussion that we're going to be moderating. Obviously, the Grizz Shop Local, where we're honoring and pointing out Black businesses in our community that you can shop with and that we're shopping with as an organization. And obviously HBCU Empowerment Award, which will honor 8 grads from HBCUs who are working and impacting the Grizzlies community. So keep it locked to all of our coverage on Grind City Media. It's Grizzlies/BHM. Thank you, Robert. Megan, you got any last words for our guy?
Rob, you know, I love you and I appreciate you. And so keep doing you. You know, you have my support and so many other people's support.
Thank you, Meg. You know, I said, I'll call you later.